Hey everyone, I want to start out by saying a huge thank you to 5,000 subscribers. If you're new here, my name is Janae and I am just beyond excited that I reached 5K. And I know to some people that may not seem like a big number, but if you know my story on YouTube, which you probably don't, but let's just say this was a long time coming and I'm just so excited, and I want to thank all of you lovely subscribers because that's why we're here. So in this video, I'm going to be doing a 5K Q&A. Yeah, let's just jump right in. All right, so first question. What is something that you expected of motherhood and one thing you did not expect? One thing I expected of motherhood was to basically have my world flipped upside down. Not upside down, but like have my world flipped, and just to, you know, your life's gonna change, and my life changed for the better, but it's still change, and just adjusting to that, I knew that was going to happen. And then what's one thing I did not expect was to just be so needed all the time. Like, I know a newborn needs your mother, but since Sage isn't taking bottles, it's like I can't go anywhere or do much of anything. So yeah, I didn't expect to literally have like zero break ever. Yeah. Next question. Is nursing harder than you thought? Yes and no. Like right now it's super, like I would say it's super easy for me. I got the hang of it. It's not hard at all. It never was really hard. So yeah, I guess I would say no, nursing is not harder than I thought. I thought it would actually be harder, and I'm lucky that it was actually quite easy. When is your birthday? September 9th, which is actually in a few days. What is your height? 5'7.5", or basically I just say 5'8". What is your favorite dessert? I don't really have favorite anythings, but I really do like So Delicious chocolate cookies and cream ice cream. That I could have that like every day. What's your favorite movie? The Twilight series. What do you edit on? Final Cut Pro. What camera do you use? Sony. That's about all I know. I really am terrible with like camera stuff. That's like more my husband's forte, or whatever you want to call it. Like I really have no idea. Like if you were to ask me what lens I'm using right now, I have no idea. A nice lens, I guess that's what I would say. Like I don't know. I always forget, and he tells me all the time. I don't know. Sorry. What's your favorite YouTuber? I don't really have a favorite YouTuber. I have a few people that I like watching, but I wouldn't say like, oh my gosh, I love them so much at the moment. So yeah. Next question. How old are you and your husband? I am 22. I'll be 23 in like 6 days. And my husband is 25. Do you want more kids? I think so. See, this is a tricky question. If you were to ask me like 2 weeks ago and like my entire life, I would say yes, definitely. I want like 3 or 4 kids. But I don't know, something happened like 2 weeks ago. I was just thinking, I'm like, do I really want more kids? Like I would be fine with more kids. Like a part of me really, really wants more kids. But then a part of me is like, well, if Sage is the only kid we have, would I be fine with that? I mean, like, I really don't know. Like, I don't know. And I didn't even tell my husband this. Like, this just happened the other day where I'm like, do I really want more kids? I don't know. If the Lord decides to bless us with more kids, bring them on. But yeah, that answer right now, I really don't know at the moment. Like, I think, yeah, I do want more kids, but I don't know. Did you eat plant-based all of pregnancy? Yes, I did eat plant-based all of pregnancy. As some of you may or may not know, I was vegan for almost 3 years, but during my pregnancy, actually, I started to eat organic cage-free eggs occasionally, but that was it. And that was only occasionally. So yes, I ate plant-based all of pregnancy. Did you work out during pregnancy? Yes, I did on the days that I felt good enough to, because some of you may or may not know, I did struggle and kind of still do with a mystery illness of my head hurting all the time. I was super fatigued. I basically couldn't do anything. And this was like 6 months prior to getting pregnant is when it started. I had to quit my job. I was literally on the couch all day. So in a nutshell, 6 months later, I get pregnant. And of course, you know, the pregnancy symptoms mixed with that doesn't make it any easier. So on the days that I felt good, some days I didn't, and I just pushed through and did work out, yes. Not every day, but yes, I did work out more often than not, I guess you could say, during my pregnancy. What was the most helpful thing for coping during labor? I guess just knowing, like, just having my mind focused on meeting my baby. Like, okay, all this pain that you're going through, every contraction is getting you one step closer, or, you know, more dilated so that you can meet your baby. So I guess that's what I kept in the back of my head. Like, come on, just do this, go through this pain, and each few minutes that passes by is a few minutes that you're closer to meeting your precious baby girl. And have you ever considered the Montessori method for Sage? Just wondering, it's become so popular nowadays. Yes, I have. That's kind of the method that I've been using and plan to use going forward. I don't really, like, I never did massive research on the Montessori style, but I do know some of the fundamentals. And yes, I plan to use that to guide my like playtime and learning with Sage. So yes. How did you get your tummy back in shape after giving birth? Well, I still have a ways to go, but I walked a lot. Like, after the first 2 weeks of giving birth, I took 2 walks almost every single day. I think I averaged about 2 to 3 miles every day. So that helped a lot because I wasn't doing any other exercises. So I walked a lot, drank a lot of water, tried to eat healthy. Yeah. And then now, I guess how I got my tummy back in shape, when I was cleared to work out after the 6-week mark, I started doing exercises to heal my diastasis recti. I didn't have a huge ab separation, but it was a little bit, so I did exercises focused on that. And those low impact exercises really helped to tone my lower tummy area and heal the diastasis recti. And yeah, now I just exercise, I'd say maybe 3 to 4 times per week. So yeah, that's what I did. I'd like to ask you to share on the role your faith has played during the labor and delivery of your daughter, as well as being a new mom now. So the question is, what role my faith played during the labor and delivery of my daughter is the first part. My faith played a huge role, because as you guys probably saw in the birth and post-birth vlog and story, it was crazy. It was crazy. The whole thing was crazy. And I think the whole time during my labor and even after she was delivered and in the NICU, my faith, like, God was just covering me and surrounding me with such a peace and a calm that everything was going to be okay. Like, if I didn't know God and I didn't have God, I strongly believe that I would have been a mess the entire time. I would probably be like bawling my eyes out during labor and after the labor and everything. Like, looking back on it, the only reason that I was so calm was God. He gave me a peace that covered me from everything that was going on, and that's all I have to say about that. And how does my faith play a role as being a new mom now? Well, being a new mom is challenging. And sometimes it gets overwhelming. It's an amazing thing being a mom, but it's also very overwhelming at times. It's hard, it's challenging, the most challenging thing sometimes. So, having God as my rock really helps to keep me grounded. And when I'm feeling extra stressed out and like, oh, I wish I could just run away sometimes, it's like I have God and I run to Him and I I spend time with him, and he helps me through the hard days, basically. And so yeah, he helps me through it all. The good days, the bad days, he is there. So I couldn't do this life without God. So yeah, I hope that answered the question. What is your favorite thing about being a mom? My favorite thing about being a mom, that's a hard one. Like, there's so many aspects about being a mom that I love. Like, my daughter is amazing and I love her so much. What's my favorite thing? I guess the fact that, I don't know. Oh my gosh. I didn't think this question would be so hard. I guess the fact that, you know, I have this little human that I actually made. Like, me and my husband made this human. I mean, God made her, but like, she came out of me. Like, she is part of me, and it's like she needs me and she relies on me so much. I guess it's like God gave me this opportunity to raise a child, and so she's looking at me for everything, for her food source right now, for her comfort, for her shoulder to cry on, literally, to put her to sleep, to bathe her, to clothe her. It's like she's relying on me so much, and that's like a huge responsibility because I have such a huge influence in her life, even now at such a young age. And as she gets older, I have so much influence, and that is a big responsibility, but it's also a big blessing and it's a big opportunity. So I think that is my favorite part about being a mom, is just the fact that I have so much influence over this child, and I get to raise her however I see fit and however's best for her. And I think that's just such a blessing and such a amazing thing. Postpartum healing tips. A number one tip would be to make my DIY down there spray, because after birth, all down there is not the same. So you want to use that DIY spray. If it's not out, it'll be out soon, and if it is already out, I'll link it above. But yeah, my DIY down there spray is a lifesaver for healing literally down there physically. And another tip would be to get help. Postpartum healing tips would be to get help, as much help as you can get in those first few weeks, just to, you know, take care of you. Because even showering, I had to have my mom help me shower the first time I showered at home after having a baby, because it was just, my body went through a lot, and you can't move like you used to move in the first few days. Well, I couldn't anyway. And so yeah, just get help. And yeah, what is something you did not expect about nursing? Well, I know I talked about nursing a little bit. I said it was easy for me, like she latches on great. However, one thing I did not expect about nursing was such demand. Like, you know, okay, you're gonna have to nurse every 2 to 3 hours, round clock when they're little. But I think it was in the second month, when she was 2 months old, I'm like, this is tiring. Like, I literally don't get a break all day. Like, this is hard. And it was just because it was so time consuming, not time consuming. It's just like I said, I can't do anything because I'm like, oh wait, in an hour I have to make sure I'm around to feed Sage. I mean, I'm always around, but you know, like if I wanted to go run to the grocery store, no, I didn't. If I wanted to have a date with my husband, no, I didn't. I mean, not that I even wanted to go anywhere. It was just sometimes I just wanted to relax, like mentally, and be like, okay, let me go take a shower. And I'd be like, okay, let me go take a shower. Babe, can you watch her? And then I'd forget to look at what time she ate, and then I'd be in the shower and there'd be screaming, and my husband would be like, are you done? And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's her feeding time. Duh, like I forgot, and I jumped in the shower at the wrong time. It's just like you always have to be super, super aware, and you just always have to be there because you're literally the food supply if you're nursing. So that was something I didn't expect about nursing. I guess just the mental aspect of how draining it is. Now it's not like, now, I guess because I'm used to it and it's just a part of our everyday life. But in the beginning, it was definitely something to get used to. Okay, last question. What is some advice to give a small YouTuber of how to grow your channel? Well, my number one tip of advice would be to trust God. This is just from my personal experience, because I've watched all the videos on how to grow your channel, how to get your first 100 subscribers, how to get your first 1,000 subscribers, how to grow your channel, how to get more views. I've watched all those videos. I've done everything those videos have said, and I did not see my channel grow at all. Literally for 2 years. I've been on YouTube for, what is this, going on 4 years or 3? I don't know. But I just recently, as you guys saw, hit 1,000 subscribers. I was literally under 500 subscribers for my first 2 years of YouTube, and I did everything those videos were saying. I was searching up, search engine optimization, better thumbnails, I did everything that I knew humanly possible, how to make my videos get noticed more and be more eye-catching and more entertaining to watch. I did all that, and it did not work. So just recently, this year I hit 1,000. No, this year I think I hit 700 subscribers, 800, 900, 1,000, 2,000, 3, 4. Now we're at 5,000. And that was all this year. But like I said, I was been on YouTube for 2.5 years, and I only got up to 500 subscribers. And I was doing all that. And literally the past few months, when I hit all these milestones, I've barely been doing everything that I was doing before. I don't know, I believe strongly that it's all in God's timing. And because this was always a passion of mine, I was never in it for 1, the money, and 2, the views. Yeah, I want people to watch my videos because I want to help people, but I kept going because it was a passion. And I realized that because after even 1 year of only having 200 subscribers, a lot of people would have quit way before that. But I didn't, and I kept going and I kept going because it's a super deep passion of mine, and I genuinely love creating YouTube videos for you guys. You have no idea. And I know God is using this platform that I have for His glory ultimately, and I know it's what He wants me to be doing. So I 110% believe that it's all in His timing on how to grow your YouTube channel. Yeah, I mean, it's good to watch those videos on SEO and how to make better videos, and it's good to learn about that stuff, but don't let that consume you, because I literally was spending every waking second doing those things and saw no results from it. So ultimately I just handed it over to God. I would say as long as you have passion behind what you're doing, that is going to radiate through to whoever's watching you, and you're going to enjoy doing it. And you're not going to expect something in return, I want this video to get 5,000 views or 20,000 views. And then when it doesn't, you're gonna get so disappointed and then maybe just not do YouTube altogether. But if you seriously have genuine passion behind what you're doing, the numbers will come in God's timing. That's what I truly believe. So yeah, that is all I'm going to answer today. Thank you guys so much for your questions, and thank you guys so much for watching. I know this was probably long because I tend to get chatty and I tend to explain too much about my answers. I'm working on that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button below if you're not already. And yeah, I cannot wait until we hit our next milestone, which will be 10K. I'll probably do another Q&A at 10K. But yeah, I love you guys so, so much. You literally have no idea whatsoever. I love you so much. God loves you. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.